Guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of the Good Cast Show. So today I have with me a lawman. That's right. He's a lawyer by profession. He's a graduate from the International Islamic University Malaysia and University of Malaya. He specializes in civil litigation, criminal proceedings, company law, trust and equity law, administrative law, employment law, corporate advisory, and family law. So today he's going to be sharing some information, some knowledge to all of us on how we can better protect ourselves using the law. Please welcome the man himself, Mr. Balasubrameniam Selvam. How are you, sir?
Fine.
Sir, I think I'd like to start a bit from the beginning to understand who you are and how you got into this field. What made you decide to be a lawyer? By the way, that was also one of my dreams in life, to become a lawyer after watching The Practice, but my mother talked me out of it. So...
Thanks for inviting me.
No worries. Yeah.
I think I became a lawyer by fluke.
Oh, okay.
It was not my ambition per se.
Okay.
I was doing something else. And the job that I'm doing, I did many years ago, involve law, particularly company law. So I've been dragged into it. And in 2015, something happened to me where I have ended up being, practicing law.
Okay.
That's the irony of it. So otherwise I would have remained in a payroll, serving either the private sector or the government.
Okay.
So that's where I am today.
Nice. And how's it been now going out on your own?
Challenging. It's a highly intellectual, demanding professions. You have to be on your toes. It comprises marketing, legal strategy, and also human relations. It involves three. And beside law, it also involves psychology. You got to understand human feelings. That's the most important part.
Okay. Right. So is it true what they say that lawyers like their whiskey?
I don't drink, so I don't know about that.
You're the exception to the rule. Okay. So in our previous conversation, you did share with me about how passionate you are about the issues surrounding the Indian community,
right,
and how you want to provide a solution for it. You want to change the way we approach it. So I just want to get an idea from you. What are some of the issues that you are very passionate about, that resonate strongest with you?
Now, I think, let me talk about the Malaysian Indian. I think they have to have a vision, really a good vision, that they have to think beyond the border. They have to adopt the paradigm shift. Because I come from a place where you can't find graduates. Most of them are Form 5 school dropouts. I mean, I'm talking about the age that I am. I'm 50, around that. So you got to understand that these kind of places, certain places, we don't get an opportunity to further our study in tertiary educations. So, but now, at the moment, the current era, it's not only being a graduate, but you have to equip yourself with a lot of things, I mean, not only AI, but soft skill and some kind of expertise in you to survive. Because last 2-3 years, we saw how people, stranded, being unemployed due to COVID-19. So the soft skill made them to survive and continue with their livelihood. So that's my passion. And I want, if we have 10 Indians, all of them be a graduate. And we should not be looked at someone that can be bullied for where we came from. We were indentured labor many years ago. Yeah. But we are in this country a kind of a formidable a force. Yeah. But yet to be tapped fully. I think we are in the making. Sooner or later, I think we will be a force to be reckoned.
Definitely. Definitely. Now, I want to, since you talked about education, I think it's best for us to start in, again, another topic that we were talking before, which is gangsterism.
Yeah.
This is quite a big problem in the Indian community. Just some stats to paint some context. 72% of gang members identified in Malaysia are Indians. There is a total of 28,926 Indians identified as being gang members. And we have the highest rate of gangsterism in Malaysia. So why is it that gangsterism has such a, why do we score such high rates in gangsterism as opposed to the other races?
I think it's basically, number one is ignorance. They think by watching the Tamil movie, the heroism, that the way they depict someone who's with a muscular who can fight 5-6 fellas, at one go.
Yeah.
That became part and parcel of those who really watched the movie from such a tender age, and they idolized this character, and then it became part of their ambition to be someone like that. And then for petty things, they become kind of angerful kind of person, and then they adopt this kind of bravery for a wrong purpose. I think that's where they lead. And also, they still have this mentality in the 70s, 80s, where gangsters kind of like many years ago, before we have a very good comprehensive rule of law, we have a good set of good law enforcement agency. Then the gangster at one point of time, they rule the certain places. I don't want to say whether it's rural or urban. And then the community look at them for protections. Many years ago, not anymore. So that, I would say, that epidemic, or rather a kind of like a disease, continue in our community, and especially a rural area.
But is it fair to, oftentimes I hear this similar statement whereby we blame Tamil movies for it. It's not like the Chinese don't have movies that depict gangsterism. The triads and all that are very much depicted in even in Hollywood movies. We have the Russian mafia movies and all that. We aren't the only film industry that produce movies with gangsterism as part of it. That's one. Number two is, when some of the books that I've read about the Indian community, gangsterism is not something that they get in. It sort of depicts this picture whereby gangsterism is not something they get in because they want to, but simply because they have to, because of the levels of poverty among certain communities within the Indians. Wouldn't that be more accurate reasoning why they joined gangsterism?
No, I disagree with you, because I come from the place where gangsterism is so prevalent, the place where I grew up. I don't want to mention that place has changed now,
okay,
but still it's infested with those kind of ideology.
Infested, okay.
All right.
Okay.
So I think it's not that per se. It's the DNA of our DNA. I'm talking about, we have the particular community from the rural area, then suburban, then urban. And I come from urban. But the place that I come from, they really worship this gangsterism at one point in time. It's kind of like a protections for your family. When you are in a certain area where you have one or two brothers who's so kind of like, so brave enough, your family is protected. Nobody wants to bully you. But that became later part of life. I mean, in certain family, became that someone will follow the traditions.
Okay.
And then the recruitment started to take place till today. They start recruiting in all this place.
Young.
And then they want to show that, hey, look here, you got to be fear of me. And then they go around and worship that fear, kind of like bravery, not for valor, but it's something like, I'm untouchable. I think that is a kind of a superstitious feeling they have.
Yes.
I think it's no longer there.
Yeah.
The law enforcement agency is coming hard on them, and I think we should change.
Now, of course, when we talk about gangsterism, it's mostly we are talking about the underlying, not the underlying, but basically the whole underlings, the people at the lower rank in these organizations, right? Yeah. When you look at the Chinese, for example, they've become more known for organized crime. They're very structured in their way they do things. You hear stories of money laundering, business, fronts and all that. Why I don't know how to word this, but why do you think Indian gangsters haven't morphed to that level?
I think I may be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm standing to be corrected, but I think they want people to be, kind of like, they want this kind of like recognition, but through bravery. But if you really want to show your bravery, join the police force, armed forces. They give you the recognitions. You can get, this Valor Award and all that. But again, we yet to have some form of a body, an institutions to tap all these people and groom them for a correct purpose. We haven't had that. Like what you say, Chinese, I don't want to go into race or whatever. You see the organized crime itself. It's a serious offense. It involves structuredly from human trafficking, drug businesses, trafficking, what do you call, money lending, prostitutions, and so forth. All right. So that's why they call it organized crime. They do such a way, they really organize this. But I think it's not Indian per se. There are other people who are doing it. But I would say that they are not so
open.
They are not open. They don't want to show it to on street. That's that thing is.
Now, in your experience as a lawyer, I'm sure you have come across these cases, gangsterism cases. I'm sure you've dealt with many. When you have such a strong perception, not you, but generally the perception among Indians is that people look at us as, gangsterism is always part of our entire makeup, although stigmatized. Yeah, that's the right word. And so sometimes this may lead into false accusations or false imprisonments and all that. So in such a situation, say if I were an individual who now was suspected and the police had apprehended me in suspicion of gang-related activities or any sort of crime, how do I defend myself? Is there a way to defend myself?
If you are arrested for gangsterism per se, under the Secret Societies Act, you can defend yourself. It's a bailable offense. But if you're charged for organized crime, it's something new since for the last 5-6 years. It's non-bailable offense under the SOSMA Securities Measures Act and all. That's the full
But
word.
is there any instances that you have experienced whereby people have been wrongfully imprisoned?
Yeah.
Could you please share some stories?
Yeah.
Or are you not allowed to?
No, you see, some of them, with in ignorance, they affix this tattoo for being flamboyant. But we have a certain group, they stereotype that tattoo, which is art, think that it's a part of a gang affiliations. You belong to certain. But the thing is, we don't educate that certain symbols belongs to certain groups, and these youngsters don't know about it. They fix that insignia in their body as in the form of tattoo. When they have been randomly checked or examined by police, they are apprehended, and they are subject to some kind of like prosecutions. I won't say malicious or whatever, but they've been put into the process. But end of the day, if they get a good lawyer, they come out. But if what happened was, most of the time, these people, rather than engaging a lawyer, they have the middle person who knows certain people. This is where they broker or shortcut without going through the proper legal process, and they end up being incarcerated until justice given to them by people like us. So come to us. If you have this kind of problem, don't go and look for some mediator who doesn't have a legal background. Try to broker some deals or whatever. Don't do that.
Go to the law.
Yes.
That's the way. Now, I'm always curious. Of course, there are kids or they are the youth who join gangsters and all that, these groups and all that. Is there a way out for them? Or once they go in, are they stuck and that's the life they have to live?
Self-realizations. I have a kind of gangster who I know is today a biotech entrepreneur.
Wow. Okay.
Seriously. He's a biotech entrepreneur. He's doing very well. And he actually flourished in international arena. And he met the right person at the right time, at the right place. And he realized that what he was doing was not right. The gangsterism is not going to give him some kind of a recognition. It's a disaster for him. And he realized that. And today I marvel at him for what he was before. And
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So I want to go into another area that you are also an expert in, which is family law.
No, I actually admire the late Justice Gopal Sriram. He goes into every branch of law in every area of practice. So I want to be like general counsel. I don't want to specialize in one area. So that you can cari makan lah.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, right? So family law it comes to me. My firm takes in those cases. But usually my junior lawyers will take it up. I'm not belittling them, but because the family law is very emotional, it touches to the core of a human feelings.
What are the common cases that you get with regards to family law? Is it just divorce? I mean, there must be other.
No, it's adoptions. It's
Okay.
beside that, they have within the family law matters, they have a dispute on the matrimonial property.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Then maintenance.
Okay.
Getting divorced, it's easy, but the terms that they impose, either party, whether it's being the wife or the husband, I'm telling you, is very onerous, and the lawyers have to crack their head to convince, forego this, compromise on this. And I'm telling you, Asians are Asians. When the divorce, the marriage is actually a contract for relationship, but when it comes to divorce, I tell you, they fight like real fight. The ego comes in.
No, I've always been curious about this when I because there is one or two lawyers online, social media who I follow, and they specialize in divorce law. It's very interesting to hear what they have to say about this entire topic. But you particularly, since as a lawyer you are faced with these type of cases, right? Does it augment your perception of relationships and marriage when you see all these cases in front of you?
Marriage is basically a gamble. Today you like it, tomorrow something happens, you may not like your partner.
Okay.
You may want to, depart, detach. So it's very subjective, you can't tell. But because marriage is not like 60 years ago where our parents or our grandparents stayed together and all that. Now I think people have choice. It's more to comfort, peace, and I think the partners have to accept the marriage is like, hey, I met you yesterday, I got married to you today, and I'm going to be like when I was courting you. That is what will make you to survive.
Okay.
Otherwise, if you're going to think that, the marriage is kind of like, you take things for granted, you want to make your partner to submit to your whatever your demand is, I think it's a wrong move. Things have changed. The women knows their rights. Men too, they don't want to be like,
domesticated.
Yeah, not only that, being oppressed. Because, all right, being oppressed.
Interesting that you actually talk about that because, in fact, it was one of my questions as well. When you compare now, especially divorce rates among the Indian community, it's high compared to before, which was now I think it's even past the thousands per month. Even if I'm not, it's about 5,000. But this was a stat about 10 years ago. Why do you think back then divorce was not practiced? Even though people were getting divorced, but very few, as opposed to now when I see it so prevalent, it's everywhere.
The irony is, those days we were bogged down or rather clamped with orthodox conservative thinking.
Conservative values, okay.
All right. And then what happened was we have so many relatives to please. It's also maruah. It's a pride. You shouldn't be, separated. And we had our parents, grandparents who kind of like, they'll come into the crisis.
Yes.
They try to mediate. Look here, this is just a temporary measure.
Yeah.
Stay on.
Yeah.
But that understanding is no longer, it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
And
in fact, the in-laws will get involved and then they will join the fight.
I think I got one case where the in-laws took the tali. I'm talking about non-Muslims. It's basically Indian. The parents kind of like motivated the girl. You had enough with this guy. Took the tali and put in an envelope, send it over. Let's see in court. That kind of things happening. But that's why I said when it comes to family matters, if one is ego, one is like thinking that I should win, I think that marriage won't sustain.
In again, based on your experience, what are the most common reason why a divorce would happen?
You see, for instance, we take an average, someone, a male is 30 years old and a girl is 25, 26. I'm talking about if not, they're not highly educated. If I think the educated one will take like 30 to 35 that age group to get married. You come from a different culture, background, traditions, and all of a sudden when you get married, you expect the partner to adapt to your likings, your whim and fancies. I think that's the cause of it. Most of it. You want all of a sudden that your partner to change, adapt your family. I think you got to go slow. But sometimes the slow, if you compromise, that's also a disaster for you. So it'll be subject to, the other party is been,
Okay.
the one side is controlling you forever.
Mm,
And then you lose your rights. And then it turned out to be unhappy
Okay.
married life. I think you got to give in. Both the parties, the husband and wife, got to give some time. I think the first 3 years is very crucial to understand. Can you imagine if you are 30 years old, you're getting married, and overnight you expect your partner to accept for what you are?
Yeah.
Unless, I'm talking about this arranged marriage, if Scotting is different. Until you stay under one roof,
Yeah, you don't know
I
the
tell
person.
you don't know.
You don't know the person.
It's not going to be same.
Yeah,
It's not going to be same. It's
absolutely
not gonna be
right.
same.
Yes, that's true. But again, how big is infidelity as a cause of divorce? Is it a lot of the cases or not so many?
Not really though.
Not
really though.
Not really.
Not
yeah?
really. Not really.
That'd be surprising. Yeah.
Not really.
I would have thought that would be the main reason why divorce is
No.
Now,
it's character. If the partner's character, they're steadfast to face a crisis, a family crisis, a problem, and that if someone couldn't remedy these crises, the non-compatible or they can't get along, then the third person will be sought.
Okay.
They will seek for the third person for some kind of comfort zone.
Yes.
Comfort zone.
Now, the thing about divorce, of course, is that since it's so prevalent, of course, children come into the mix, right? Of course, when you don't have kids, it's easy. When you have, it's a big another thing. Is it always the case that the wife, that the mother gets the kids during a
No, if it's below 7, the maternal care, the mother gets the rights. The law provides so. It's always below 7. It's for the mother.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of emotional part of it, and because the child's welfare, the first 7 years is very crucial. Only the mother understands. Basically, it's kind of like breastfeeding thing, the father can't do breastfeeding.
But then isn't that unfair? I mean, like me. I mean, I'm a father. You're a father as well. I mean, we love our kids. To not be with your child, for the first 7 years. Say if you were to divorce.
No, you have the rights for what you call custody, visitations and custody. You see, it depends how what is the conditions, what is the behavior of the father. If it's a very violent and someone who abuses the wife beating, and he got tendency for domestic violence, then the child may not be given to the father. What if he does? If he do something to the child?
That's true. But will the court evaluate it on a case by case basis?
Case to case basis.
Okay, so
in the facts itself. Yeah.
So, but has there been cases where when a divorce happened and the child is below 7, that the child goes to the father?
Yeah.
They have.
Yes, I have done one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The father got it Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The mother got Monday to Thursday.
Oh, so they still share custody?
They still share the custody.
Oh, so
let me tell you something. What has been told to me by one judge, High Court judge. He said it's not fair for the child to just be with the mother alone without knowing the father. I think 20 years later, if the child said, I need to know who's my father, I want to know the lineage, the relative, the relations that, from my father's side, where am I going to look for it? So the judge said, the lordship said, it has to be both sides.
Okay.
So he has to be fair. The mother gets 3-4 days. The father gets 3 days for to take care of the child.
Okay.
Child custody as well as visitations.
Okay. Fair enough. I because it's always something that's in my mind. I'm thinking like, if there's a divorce, why is it the mother always gets the kid? It doesn't make sense because in some cases the mother may not be a good
it's case to case basis. It's not outright the mother will get.
Okay.
The child need to know who's the father is.
Okay.
After all, we've been named as son of Ananalaki as a father.
Yeah.
So it's not fair for the father that he forgo his rights. He's also he also has love and affection to be shown to the child.
Yeah.
I think that's why I said it's, even though the law says a child below 7 years goes to the mother for care, in terms of welfare and on so forth, but the father still can make his demand to the court to get his child custody.
Do you think that with the way things are in terms of divorces, do you think that we should practice signing prenups before weddings?
They have not gone to that stage. We are still quite conservative, orthodox.
Orthodox, okay.
Yeah, where I think people see, hey, what, this is so weird, man.
Why you telling me? Yeah.
No way.
Okay.
We have not gone to the Westerners where they have nuptial knot agreement prior to getting married. I think there are partners who are doing it, but I think if our conversation is among the Indian community, we have not gone to that stage. We maybe probably take another 30 years.
Okay.
Yeah, but the elites, those are the upper class, they are going into that.
Yeah, because they have to protect their property and all that. Yeah, their legacy and all. Okay. Now, another thing that, of course, is happening among the Indians is youth is bullying. That's a huge problem. We've had several tragic cases recently, of course, in where it's because of bullying. Now, before I go to the actual part of bullying, there is, of course, an organization and an agency called MCMC that takes care of basically governs the whole cyber world. Supposedly that's what the perception is. They protect us against cyber crimes and cyber bullying and all that. How powerful are they in terms of protecting netizens from cyberbullying, cyber harassment, and all these threats from the cyber world? And what rights do we have to actually protect ourselves from it?
MCMC doesn't come really for cyberbullying. That's police job.
Okay.
Whenever there's something been done to you, be it mentally or physically, police have their own units. They have their own units.
Okay.
If it's against a child, then they have a unit called D11. Like showing porn, sex grooming. They can do it through all this IT technology. MCMC more on something that you place it in the platform.
Okay.
They have a section 233, the multimedia, act, which the moment you put in a platform, in an internet platform or online platform, the MCMC will come in and apprehend you if it's in. So the bullying, I think the bullying part, I say if it's for a child, then I think the regulator, the law enforcement agency, should come in to rescue the child. It has to go through the parents.
Okay.
I think we should educate our child. We have to tell our child what is normal touch and sexual touch.
Okay.
We have not gone to that stage like in Western countries.
Where they with a doll and all that.
Yes, we explain. We are still bound or balked by the taboo. We don't talk about it.
But is that a problem here in Malaysia? How bad is it?
Oh, child grooming, it is. It still persists, And then this been the enticing of as women is there, prevalent.
Okay.
But it's not being reported because the victim itself doesn't want to amplify, to go to media because it's kind of like, it's kind of a reputation, your image, it's also the family's pride.
Yeah.
They want to protect,
Okay.
So therefore, it's been swept in under the carpet. But there are a lot, plenty of cases. We got the D11 unit in Bukit Aman doing a lot of good job to eradicate, to curb these activities, the cyber bully, through internet and all that. But I give you one head start. Just, I think about 2-3 years ago, there was one woman committed suicide.
Yes, one. For
something, right?
Yeah, cyberbullying.
Cyberbullying, right? She committed suicide, right?
Yeah.
So why it happened? The moment you go on online on the air, like today, what we are, if some criticism is made against me, I should take it.
Yeah, of course.
As a constructive criticism.
Yeah.
And when I come here to talk to you, I know what is the consequences, be it whether people like it or otherwise. So you must have a very strong character. Otherwise, don't do anything.
Yeah, don't.
Online, don't go near it. Just stay away.
Yes.
Just stay away.
Yeah,
okay?
even like for this, like I ignore all the I don't dive too much in the comment section because that will eat you up. And then once it does, you get affected.
It'll take a toll on you.
Take a toll. Yeah,
take a toll on you. Unless somebody attack you personally. If it's a general statement, I think we should come up. I think the primary school should come up with a syllabus in the moral studies or whatever. Include this as a chapter and saying that if you are subject to this, teach them the remedial part, where to go.
Yes.
That school got counselors, right? Inform the counselor, notify them. The counselor have all these trainings to actually to make this or the student to overcome this. I'm talking about cyberbullying.
Yeah.
And for adults as well, they have a lot of places to go. I think the NGOs are playing a lot of important part,
Yeah.
So therefore, the cyberbully is all about yourself. How are you going to tackle it? Except for child below 18. They are prevalent, they're vulnerable. I think parents must teach them.
Yeah, definitely.
And they should limit their exposure to
devices.
The cyberbully. And I must tell you that I handled one case during family disputes, divorce. The mother said the child got autism. I'm not mentioning the name, and she wants the total custody because she said that the father couldn't take care of the child because he's having autism.
He's autistic.
But when the child was put into a very a comprehensive medical examination, the child was exposed to screen time most of the time to handphone. What happened? The child had kind of like problem talking to others.
Yes, I've heard of this.
Speech
yes.
therapy.
Yes.
So this is what we need to. Don't give handphone to the child and then use. I see in a lot of places where parents are dining, the child is with the handphone. I'm telling you, they're going to have a very narrow mindset. They're not going to have an eagle view.
When you say that, it makes me so angry because I feel like the law there must be another provision added to charge parents with utter and complete stupidity or basically, I think the better term on the law terms would be negligence. Because you are negligently raising a child without understanding the damage that screen
the
does.
repercussion, the consequences, medically.
I have in my I have people I know in my circle whose children don't speak because they are always on the screen.
Right.
And when you say I agree with you. No, because it's so stupid. You didn't grow up like that.
And I come to one more topic.
Please, yeah.
This is where you end up being a victim of a Macau scam and all the scams.
Yes.
Because you're so into it, you don't know that somebody is scamming you, and your intelligence, your intuitions, or rather your logic sense couldn't take you to say that this is actually a scam, it's an entrapment. So because you're so into it, and you get swayed. You just say push button. Okay, what's your code? What's your this? You start doing it, and there you go. There's where your funds, your total savings gone.
Yeah. A lot of cases happen. In fact, I had a guest on previously who lost about 17,000-18,000 just by scams. Just like that, money goes. And that's a small amount compared to what a lot of other people suffer. Life savings and all that.
Right.
Now, again, speaking about online matters, we were talking very briefly about revenge porn. Which is something that is growing in numbers here. Even when you were sharing some interesting cases about the things that you experienced too. So maybe please share those cases first, and then we'll get to it.
The revenge porn is actually based on the person who was so close to his partner. I think again, this is not Sharia law, got nothing to do. The non-Malays they can have living in relationship and all that. At that time, I think some compromise had been taken. As takes place, and then the revealing part of it. But once the relationship turns sour, the other party or I don't know which gender going to pass it to you and show it. Look here, I'm having this. Don't do that. That we have a kind of like section 509, especially for when the photos outrage your modesty. 509 of penal code.
Okay.
The cops will come after you.
Okay.
And there's no mercy for you. And once you have done it, to either party, if you take your photograph of your ex-girlfriend and then you put it somewhere, and vice versa, I tell you, you're asking for trouble. So better don't do it. And
but is it exclusively women who face this as who become victims, or are they men also who end up becoming victims from this?
For male it becomes prevalent when they have same sex relationship.
Oh, okay.
I've come across.
Okay.
The other partner said, "I'm going to reveal you that you're a homo and all that, blah blah blah."
My goodness.
So that's where they said, if you go out, I'm going to reveal this. So there are people who still, I don't want to talk about people's sexual orientation.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's not my job.
Yeah.
It's their personal liberty.
Okay.
But I think the Malaysian law doesn't permit anyway. Okay.
I hope the police don't come knocking on your door. Hey, okay. Who's these people?
No, it's not. The law doesn't permit for same-sex marriage in Malaysia, or for any other kind of like prohibited relationship, because we have section 377C of penal code.
Okay.
You got to watch out for that.
Okay.
So
okay.
don't do anything
we
openly,
won't.
and then
I'm
you put
very
it online.
straight.
So all right. So this is just for
Conversation, yeah.
conversations. It's to educate people, because sometimes the cross dressing or yes, we have human rights, but the human rights, to be very very honest, to be with a legal mind, it has its limitations.
Okay.
Don't go beyond certain things. Let's forget about law. Think about the moral issues. Every law comes from moral realizations.
Okay.
Then it's been put in codified, become a statute. So therefore, I think the revenge porn, all those things. If somebody kick you out, they don't want you, let it go.
Just leave. Yeah.
Just leave gracefully.
But is there anything that we can do to protect ourselves? I mean, besides the answer of just don't do it, right? Just don't send compromising pictures of yourself to anyone, whether your partner or not. But say you have, and you are in this position, you are being blackmailed, you're being threatened. Is there anything I can do to defend myself or to protect myself?
Now, if it's been placed in the internet.
No, I mean before that. Like you just say, if you were to threaten me and say, "Look, I'm going to share this picture now." Yeah.
Let me ask you something. What is the intention of somebody wants your bare body photo? And anybody with a sound mind wouldn't want to give. You are actually putting your head into a kind of like chopping board.
Of course.
So I think love and affections, that time, even anybody tell you don't do it, you won't listen. You won't listen.
Yeah.
Then face the consequences. If you bring your normal human sense, can we are not in the person is not exposing for Playboy magazine for some kind of a cash reward. If somebody asking you, and if you both of you are in a compromised situation, why is the need that you need to take that photograph?
Okay, but assuming that they have, you can't
stop until the X date happens.
Oh, so that means after the damage done, then only I can. I can't do anything before that.
You can't say I revealed my body, I give you an image, then I put a gag order. How are you going to, you only can ask for civil damage. But in criminal law, when it doesn't say that you can give your, anything obscene is wrong. Anything obscene. If I were to have obscene photo or nude photo of my girlfriend in my handphone, outright is a strict liability. I'm subject to section 292A of Penal Code.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Even though it's my partner or something?
Yes, you're not supposed to carry in a material form.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying because I have anything. No, my phone is clean.
So don't do it. Don't even attempt. Okay.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
No, I want another. I mean, I would say, even from a kid, I always wanted to be a lawyer. I did, and of course, watching shows like The Practice and all that, I wanted to be. But when I meet lawyers, I always wonder this: do y'all, like doctors, do y'all get a bit desensitized from the human condition when you see all these things, different crimes and cases and all that? Does it make y'all pull back a bit, like so that you don't feel any emotion to those cases, for y'all to be more objective?
There's two issues. Number one, whatever the clientele tells you, take with a pinch of salt.
Meaning? Positive or negative?
When your client tells you something, you reserve your perceptions.
Can you do that? I mean,
you need to study and review. And number two, this is what I practice in order to become a good lawyer with kind of like kindness. You got to be very pious. Then you take all the cases. Beside for the fees, sometimes you will have the tendency to have the empathy to say, look here, I'll do pro bono for you. You can't afford the legal fees. Never mind, I'll do it. But if you are so commercial minded, that kind of things, then you will never have that human feelings. So everything, let it fight. Let it fight. That's a ruling says that there's a rule says that a man is presumed innocent until found guilty.
Yeah.
Case law is DPP versus Wilmington. Yeah. But I practice that.
Okay.
I practice that. But if you knowingly you did something, thinking that you can use these lawyers and get away. That's wrong.
Okay.
That's wrong.
Because, and I asked this because this question was in my head right after we had our first conversation, and you were telling me about the case it was of a couple, and it was that case where the lady was not found in a compromising situation with her
Boyfriend,
right? But she was having a drink with the person. Anyone would have known that, look, she is cheating. But the way you looked at it was to say that, no, you weren't, you're very objective about it. So I thought to myself, did you ever have the moment you thought, come on, you are guilty? But
No. I don't do that.
okay, you don't.
I don't do that. Do that because I wasn't there at the scene.
Okay.
I'm only looking at the documents. So we lawyers go by evidence. Okay? It can be testimony by someone in court or documentary evidence, or sometimes we go we rely on circumstantial evidence and presumptions. So I can't make at one go saying that, oh, look here, this person is found guilty because both of us in the room. I don't think so. That's quite orthodox. The woman may be married, but she may have a peaceful drink. Not necessarily she has to go to extra, etc. I don't impute that.
Okay.
I don't impute that.
Okay.
I think my belief it's up to me. I cannot extend to you. My principles are only for me. I cannot say, hey, look here, you can't do that. And I presume that they have done something. That presumptions can be adverse.
Okay.
You got to be careful.
Okay.
Right?
Wow, it's interesting. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I really love the whole legal profession. It's very interesting. Now, one of the things we are seeing now today with social media and all that is the court of public opinion. Okay. Does that put any pressure on a case? If that case was a very big, very popular case, does the court of public opinion put pressure on the verdict?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
But you see, like, but you see, like, in cases that, there was that show on Netflix, People versus O.J. Simpson, where the news media outside, the stories and all that, did eventually put some sort of effect on the case in terms of it affected the lawyers, perceptions of the jury and all that.
The verdict. Don't talk about jury. We don't have a jury system.
Yeah.
There's one case. I'm bound by, because I think the person has appealed to Court of Appeal. The Sessions Court found guilty. The High Court found guilty. But I think public's perceptions will never influence the judicial officer. No way.
No way, huh?
No way.
Okay.
Public perceptions will never influence the judicial officer because every judicial officer, if it's at magistrate court, Sessions Court, High Court, the case keep going elevated, at a different bench for further scrutiny. So it's all end of the day, the decision is made based on evidence, testimony, and other surrounding facts. So how that the public perceptions or these prosecution by media can decide that decisions, that out the verdict, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Okay. Now I wanna go full circle back to why we are here, which is, of course, we want to talk about our own community and the issues. And also discuss some of your proposed solutions, right? So when you look at, for example, we discussed just now about gangsterism and all that.
Right.
What is your solution to that problem? How do you think we should approach it to mitigate the number of youth who get involved into gangsterism?
I think it starts with whoever being given the task to lead our community. They must come from a very good background.
When you say good program, what do you mean?
Someone who's academicians, a professional, and they have handled a kind of like crisis at macro level, in a mass kind of things. And at the moment, I think our community is kind of like led by those marshals, generals who don't understand modern politics. We are still in a colonial mindset. Our demands is not per se, we ask something what is relevant in modern time. I think we are asking our community is asking something we demanded in 1950s, 60s. I
Such
don't want
as?
to mention. I think we are still going into the basic fundamental. For instance, we are spin into certain issues like something being said by us in terms of a race kind of thing, and then we are taken into it for the first 3 months, and it happens in four quarters in a year, and we are swayed, we are stifled. Let's look at bigger picture. The community needs something, a government to tailor, to structure economic kind of enhancement for us.
But then why is that unable to come to fruition in Malaysia? Because if you look at Singapore, they have the Cinder, which we talked about as well. How they take money from the people, not take, but people donate money on a monthly basis from their salary, and then they help the community. Why can't we do things like that?
No, we can't do to Indian per se. We don't look at it. We cannot isolate the Indian race in one group per se. When the government want to help us, it has to be made equally to all the races. But why should we look at our race alone need to get this from government? We should be treated equally like any other races, subject to certain privileges accorded to,
the Bhumiputra
the Bhumiputra and all that. But I think, nevertheless, we should be treated equally based on other things, because this race, together with other races, they have actually contributed to the nation building.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
from our forefathers.
Yeah, definitely.
So we need to have a good lieutenants to be in the forefront, to represent us with the government and put everything in perspective on table. Look here, this is what the community needs. They need to be given some kind of recognitions.
Yeah.
And this is what they need. The demand is this. And I don't want to mention about the two things that we always ask. We ask for Tamil schools and temple, and temple. I think, and the government also think that this is what we want. I think this is not what we want in modern times. We want other equity participations, empowerments, job opportunities, all that. All this we need to. We have. I think 2-3 times the Indian community came up with blueprint. I don't know where it has gone at the moment. That's why I said we need to have a good set of politicians to take our issues with the government.
But do you think that the way we are now, the way the issues are handled, the way we are constantly spun when it comes to any elections, whether by-elections or state elections or our GE, that these stories are spun in order to keep us where we are, because it is more convenient to have an Indian population that thinks that we don't have this, we don't have that, we don't have, because then the politicians have a song to sing. Now, if Indians were given what we are supposed to be, equally as compared to other communities in Malaysia, we would not listen to those songs anymore. And then the politicians will lose their power. Because
May I say something?
Yes.
We are given equal things. When you have the right credentials, we have one CPO, Johor, Indian, Malaysian Indian. So nobody is deprived, isn't it? We have a deputy CPO in Selangor, our kind. They're not deprived. We have to equip ourselves with the right qualifications in not only academic achievements and other aspects as well. We have to start look at a bigger picture with modern thinking. How we need to become really modern. You see, look at the Indian expats coming here, and they are coming here, become IT experts and so forth. They sit in many MNC companies.
Yes, they do.
Why we are not there? I think somebody should tap the skills that our children have, our youth have, and they should be trained structuredly. Structuredly should be trained like like other races they have. I don't want to mention the institution, and we should have a think tank group. We have a think tank group like Ideas, ASLI, ICs. I think we should have that kind of, and these people, those who are going to lead us, should come from kind of like professions where they have handled modern problems with advanced solutions. For instance, we have a lot of rural youth still doesn't know what is tertiary education, what is their future, like what you're talking about, gangsterism. They feel so proud of being such, but look at what they are doing, their businesses. I don't want to go into that because it may offend someone. But we don't have that guidance to tell them. I come from a place where, as I told you, my place, you can't hardly find someone with kind of like my background. A surprise. Most of us will end up working in few places. But my juniors, they made it from that area. They made it. In fact, my family, we have doctors, lawyers, accountants, and so forth. And for your information, the biotech entrepreneur is my own brother.
Oh, perfect. Okay, there we go.
That's my own brother,
Okay.
my own brother, blood brother.
Okay.
I'm telling you, we realized we met the right people. For me also, when I was in the age of 23, 24, I met the right people. They told me, this is your path. And being in these kind of things is not worth. End of the day, where you're going to be? You'll be incarcerated in some, in lockup or jail. That one is not being told. But our community are coming with highest numbers of graduates.
Yes.
We take the ratio, and we got a lot of parents with their own sweat, steadfast, diligent. They are making their child to become good professionals.
No, so just on your point again, because you talked about you just mentioned the keyword parents, right?
Yeah.
If we go to the US, when we look at their history, when there was a systematic disablement of the African American community, and how they did that was attacking the family institution.
Yeah.
Because family is so important. What is the responsibility of a family today, an Indian family? I'm focusing on Indian because to me, I feel that we cannot talk about equal treatment when we are not on equal footing. That to me does not make jive because the numbers don't make sense. If I'm stuck in the mud and you are standing on the ground, you're going to win the race because I'm at a disadvantage, right? But how important is family, and what should the family do in our community to ensure that these children that you mentioned do not go into that they experience the same fate that you did?
They need to change the mindset. They have to transform. I saw when at the age of 24, 23, I saw where I want to be. And today, where I am today. Same goes to my siblings. The boys are good. No doubt the girls, they are 2, 3 of my sisters are working. And actually 2 working for my brother.
Okay, nice.
In the company. Okay. We had good neighbors, a Christian family. They taught us what is the future by having a good career. But in order to have the good career, the parents must equip the children with the modern thinking. Look at India per se, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, or Kerala per se. They map their children to be in good school and acquire good degree, IIT.
Yes, those.
Those, okay, the thing. And look at where they go. They went to US. They control the IT field in that country.
The CEO of Google and Microsoft. Yeah.
So we should have that mindset. No more we have one macha. Who am I? You tell you. I will say, go and ask your father. Don't ask me. So that kind of things should go away. Sorry to say, this is a fact.
Okay.
Well, maybe not a lot of people. They don't tell this.
Yeah.
Something road accident. They come out. This is an accident. Some that day, something. It was a bad day.
Yeah.
Your bumper knocked my bumper. It's just an accident. But straight away, big fight and all that. Ravage. Road bullies come in.
Yeah.
I think we should stop that. In fact, all the races should stop all this. We should mellow down. We should mellow down. I think Labuan, Sabah is a peaceful state.
Yes, very peaceful.
I have worked in Labuan.
Yes, I've studied there.
They don't quarrel for all these petty things.
Very peaceful.
Okay, so our community, we need to transform. Not only from cultural aspect, we have to, not from traditional, we have to change. We need to know what is our core demand. We need to know what is our core demand. And in order for the government to recognize us, we need to have these kind of like transformations, a paradigm shift. The moment somebody sees us, they have to say, hey, this is someone who's educated. This fellow must be someone, not label us, just one macha, can step on us, trample on us. No, I think that will take another 10 years time. I think let's get together and do it through political motive for socio-economic enhancement.
Now, sorry. Another key thing, I mean, besides the youth, are the young adults as well. There are people whom I've spoken to, and some of the issues that they have shared is that it's difficult for them to get employment because they're Indian, right? Now, you are an example of a very successful individual, and from what you say, you came from a location where that was not very popular. What would you advise to young adults who are working in the working world? What should they do to change that perception?
I think to secure an employment, you have to be multitasking. You must have that skills.
Okay.
That you got to nurture yourself from youth. If you got a degree in law, not necessarily you have to be a lawyer. We have a consultants company, the big 4 audit firm. They take lawyers. But surprisingly, you wonder how come a lawyer being in that company. They might be advising on restructuring and corporate advisory. So think out of box. All right. So these youth who saying that they can't get this job and all that, I think they keep trying, keep sending your resume. I think the superpower up there will take you.
Something will happen.
Something will happen. I think we should stop blaming others, and we should have this inclusive mind. Okay. We should go into the system. If we start going into the system and we stay outside, and we want to go during the general elections, and then we want to make a big hoo-ha, I think that's a wrong move. Regardless whether we have a general elections or not, we should be part of the nation, policies. We be part of that, and we embrace this is my country. This is my motherland. Stop talking about politics from India. I think now I see everybody is talking. They are not part of us.
Yeah.
This is we were born here, so we have sense of belonging.
How important is in your experience, because you have your own firm and all that, and you work in the AG's chambers and you have a wide array of experience as well. How important is equipping yourself with additional skills that may not be your main course of study? Like, for example, you are a lawyer by training, right? Is it important in other professions to equip yourself with other skills to become more employable?
Precisely.
Okay.
When I do medical negligence, I go into these medical things, and I start reading about the anatomy, how the surgery takes place. So that's become an added advantage when I handle the cases.
Okay.
Then I know what is the procedure required for that particular surgery, for that particular procedure. So that's added advantage.
Yeah.
I think it goes across the board into all field, not necessarily, And then now with AI, I think I'm afraid that I'll be left out, where the AI will take over my job.
Yeah.
So I constantly read. I spare like 3 hours in a day to catch everything. Let me tell you something. The AI, without the human entry, may not. When it comes to my legal professions, it doesn't that what I call chat box or whatever doesn't know which case for these which situations unless we program it.
Okay. So it still needs human intervention.
Yes, the search engine. I need to put this case, so I have to do readings, right? Either from the journals or an articles or whatever, and I memorize that case for the particular facts, for particular decisions. Then I can go into the search engine and start finding the cases.
Okay.
So this is where the human factor is still above AI, because they are still artificial. We are original. So we have to go into that. So we have to have the extra added multi skills.
Definitely, I agree with you. Just on one last point. You mentioned in your journey that you were working and then you went out and set up your own firm. How big? I mean, how important is having courage in life to you? I mean, to anyone, because I feel that, and please share your thoughts on this. I feel that a lot of the youth today, because in my job I also hire people, to work with now. I feel that the current generation are too comfortable in their own comfort zone, whether their phones or their daily life, that they lack the courage to take decisions that are maybe not within those confines of social media. They to take that step to be patient, to take that step to learn, to take that step to do something out of your comfort zone is not there.
No, this is like 2-3 problems. Number one, like me, for my children, everything is provided for. My father never provide that, except for one city hall flats. But I have few, for the 3 children, we have 3 houses. It's provided for. If they're not working, they're in comfort zone. They have a shelter at home. I think the father, mother can provide stipend for them.
Yeah.
So there's no kind of like the fighting spirit. But being in these situations, my children are go-getters. They want to be better than the father, better than the mother. Okay, that's one. The second one, there's someone out there, it's hanging onto the phone, not doing anything, just get a meager salary and just enough for survival.
Yeah.
And they don't have the desire. In 1970s, 80s, because our situations, we want to make it there. We want to be with other races, be in the forefront, to be reckoned as a successful a community. That is lacking. But again, if the parents are elite, the children will follow the parents. Only 1 or 2 will be drop out. Then goes to those who are in the poverty level. If the hardship, they feel how the parents are going through, they will make themselves realize what they are. I think we can see the SPM results recently. So many Indian students scored very well.
Yeah.
No doubt that the other Malay students, when the father is fisherman, they successfully got 9 A's, 10 A's. I marvel. I think they realize what the parents have gone through. They want to make the change. This what all the youth should have. The children should have it. Don't be in the whole kind of situations. Improve. Go. The encourage is daily, every day. I go through crisis, a lot of crisis cases, family matters, siblings issues. But when I get up, I come up with the new things. My client has appointed me. I cannot bring my personal things into it.
Yes.
They paid me for it. Then I should be on my toes and be there in the court 9 o'clock. And I have a case tomorrow morning 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And I'll be there 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And I make sure that, because we have to have, I practice this, that my clients are always right. And I'm selling chicken rice. There are 10 chicken rice stalls in the same row. I have to give a good kind of like a good chicken rice, taste goods, good ambience and quality. And the price must be, kind of like lower than others. Then that's why I make business.
Okay.
So if I'm not going to go into that, I tell you, I'll have problems for survival.
Now, so I won't keep you any longer, although I would love to have a 2-hour conversation with you, because I love this topic. But I always do this to my guests, so I'll leave the final say to you.
Yeah.
So that's your camera. Perhaps could you share one advice to our Indian youth today, how to better their lives?
Enough of being in the state that we were in the past. Let be a race to be reckoned, that everybody should look up at us and saying that they are equally important as other race, and we should say that we are not less able than any other people, and we are equally as good as you. And don't feel that you are inferior with any other people. Go there and prove yourself that every human race are equal in terms of every aspect as a God's creation.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bala. Thank you, sir, for coming on the podcast. I hope you had a good time, and I had definitely enjoyed talking to you.
Oh, thank you.
And learning a lot about the legal arena. Now, for those of y'all who want to get in touch with Mr. Bala, we'll be sharing his links in the descriptions of all of our videos, so you can connect with him. If you require any legal advice or legal services, he's the man to
I
go
don't
to.
market.
Don't market.
Cannot, bar
okay.
counsel will come after me. I cannot procure any.
He didn't
businesses
say it.
to-
I said it.
Okay, all right. Okay.
He doesn't want it.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, so it was such a pleasure. And again, if you guys have any comments, you want to get in touch with Mr. Bala, please drop us a comment and we will connect the two of you. And you can have an interesting chat over coffee about law and everything fun in life. So congratulations on all your success. And I hope to have you on the podcast again.
Thank you.
This was so much fun. Hope to talk again. So to all of you all, thanks again for all your input in our previous videos. A lot of hoo-ha about a lot of new parties being formed and new topics being discussed. Thank you for all your comments and your effort in sharing and building the channel. And stay tuned and we'll be back again next week. Take care. Bye.